What is up, everyone? We are going to be doing something really cool today, which is going through the software called Dehancer, which is going to allow us to emulate film, basically emulate film while we are editing and post-processing our digital photos. Just a heads up, I was given a free sample of this software in order to try and show to you guys, but other than that, they had no say in anything that I do or say myself in the video, so all of my thoughts are my own. But yes, today's video is going to be, I guess, more of a tutorial in that sense. So let's jump right in. So when you download the software, there is going to be kind of this quick Lightroom setup PDF included, which includes a lot of important information on how to get it integrated into your software. It is really straightforward to follow, so I do recommend following that to download. Things like showing you the order and what you need to do, updating your film profiles, getting your license info, and all of that put in. And then there is also one more important thing at the end of this one. It is this part right here, working with photos in RAW. So what I am going to do is I am going to use their suggestion right here. I made kind of a little preset following all of the listed bits right here. So yes, that is what you are going to see when we jump into Lightroom. But yeah, just follow their PDF and it is really easy to get installed. Along with their quick setup little PDF guide, they also have this this quick guide right here, and it goes through all of the different settings and everything included in their software. It is definitely worth taking a look at because it goes nice and in-depth into every single thing that we are going to be able to change. So mostly what I'm going to work with today, we have the exposure compensation. Exposure compensation is going to be exactly what you think it is. I'm not going to go through all of these. The main things that we're probably going to work with are, for example, contrast boost if we want to mess with that, color boost as well. Let's see. We have film compression. We are likely going to use that, and it goes into detail about what everything is and how it works with their software. For example, here under the film grain, we have film types. Negative grain is more pronounced in the highlights, and the image has a slightly higher micro contrast, which is more typical of negative films, and then positive uses a more classic algorithm and produces a softer grain. So definitely take a look at their quick guide, because if you have any questions, this will basically answer anything that you are curious about. Alright, so jumping right into Lightroom here, I have everything set up and I have my 4 photos down here. This first one is going to be from my A7 IV, and then the last 3 photos down here are going to be from my Sony Xperia 5 smartphone. So yes, we'll get a nice variety of different photos that we are going to edit, and as you can see right here under my presets, I made one called Dehancer Base, and that was... So I made a preset following their recommendations there. So we will, first thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and apply that, and we can see how it changed our photo overall. And then in order to use the software to edit our photo, what we are going to do is we are going to right click, come down to edit in, and there we go. Since I followed their instructions, we have the edit in Dehancer Lightroom and plugin. We will click that. And here we go. So what happens is it is going to pop up in another window right here. And boom, we can maximize it just like that. I would say it is a little bit annoying having to maximize it each time that it comes through, but it's not really a big deal. So a couple of the main settings here are we have presets, which are basically presets that are combined from, as we can see here, by the Dehancer team. So these are things like mixing profiles with different settings over here, for example, different print formats. So those are what the presets are going to be, and then the profiles themselves, if we come up here and click on or off, we can click on, and then these are just the base profiles themselves. For example, we have the Cinestill 800T right here. That looks very nice, but if we turn that off and go over to presets, maybe they have a Cinestill over here. They don't. So let's try and find one that is matching. For example, I like the Fujichrome Velvia 50, and for example, they have it matched with the 2383 here, which is the print film that we can see here, and we can see just how much this changes our photo. We can come up to here to preview, and we can toggle that on and off to see the differences, as well as using the space bar as a quick shortcut. Just like that, we can see the before and the after. So we can see just how much is going on here. And this is using the preset, like I said. So if we come over here, we have all of our settings that we could use here. For example, exposure compensation, we could blow it out, we could completely crush it, things like that. Good. We have film developer. There we go. So for things like contrast or color boost, we have compression as well, which they go through very nice in their little quick guide. And since this is a preset, basically all of these things have been made and set by the Dehancer team themselves. So I think what we're going to do with this one is just stick with their decisions. So I think we are good with this one because I really like how it is looking. So we can come up here, click OK. And as we can see, it jumps us back into our Lightroom, and we can look down here at the bottom. We now have 2 files. So this was my original raw file down here, and what it did was it created an extra TIFF file, which is another form of lossless file storing. So we have our TIFF, and then it edits the TIFF through that. So you now have 2 different files. You still have your original. So we're actually going to reset that one just because we had our base preset applied there. So this is what our original photo looks like. And here is our now edited one using basically a Dehancer preset. So there we go. That looks super cool. We can see, for example, there's a lot of red hues, red kind of outlines going on. That is our halation. And then we also have some really nice bloom. And I absolutely love, look at the grain. Let's zoom like way in. Look at that grain, it is so nice. I really, really like it. But yes, so let us jump into our next photo. And this one is from the Xperia. So what we are going to do is we are going to apply our little base preset right there. Come in, same as before, go to edit in, just like that. There we go. And as we can see here, we have a checked edit a copy, and that is where it creates the extra TIFF file. Right there, and these are the recommended settings, so we will stick with that. Once again, we have our window pop up. Let's maximize it here, and what I always find is a good idea to do is just right when you open it up, just go over here to original, click it to original, and that way we are good. So this last time what we did is we picked a preset, so I think what we're going to do is come up here to profiles, activate our profiles right there. And I think what we are going to do is we are going to just look for some colors that we really like. So I've really been enjoying the Velvia 50. So here is the after, before, after. We can see it really makes the greens nice. Same here, I'm liking this one too. Sure, how about we do this one? We'll do the Konica Centuria 100 DNP. I am liking the colors on this one. So an option that you could choose is to just use Dehancer itself for colors. If you don't want to mess with the color editing in Lightroom, you can choose a color profile here, and it could work for you just like that. So for example, I will click OK, and we'll come over here, and you can see we have our 2 files. This is our original file, and this is our new TIFF file with our edited colors. And then you can come in and edit in Lightroom just like you would normally do. So for example, maybe what I would do is kind of follow this shadow line right here, and then maybe just darken it, kind of exaggerate the differences in the lights and shadows there. Maybe come up here, maybe blast that exposure up there around the sun. Maybe come in and do some dehaze as well. So this is just kind of how I would normally edit some of my photos. So we'll just brush that away from that side of the building. There we go. Maybe, let's see. We should come down here and just make sure. And then maybe what we could do is increase the contrast just a little bit and increase the saturation as well. Because when you boost the exposure and you decrease the dehaze slider, you lose some contrast and saturation. So there we go. That's what the mask's off and on. So what I did in this case was just grab the colors and then just edit normally in Lightroom like I do. So I like that one, and I think we will keep it right there. Next, let's do this photo right here, which I really like this one. Look at the kind of bokeh in the background. It looks really good considering it came from a smartphone. So same deal here. We are going to select our preset right here, come into edit in, and go into our software. Same as last time, what I'm going to do go to original, and then I think what we're going to do is we're going to choose a preset over here, and then we're going to go through some of the settings on the right side. So I'm going to choose this one, the Fuji Chrome Velvia 50, because I like this one. I've been playing around with it a bit. And we can come over here, some of the main ones. Exposure compensation is like what you would think. You can also change your color temperatures like that, and your tints, your magenta and green. Let's see, do we want more contrast? There we go, boost the contrast a bit. Do we need a color boost? I don't think we need a color boost on this one. As a matter of fact, how about we do kind of an opposite color boost? Come in to film compression, and as we can see here, if we look kind of up here in the highlights, you can see what is changing with this, and I think we're going to leave that just as it is. I like that. I haven't played around with the papers too much, but these settings here we can see change the photo just a little bit. Same with exposure. I really like playing with the exposure with the paper. Bring it up a little bit. There we go. It's kind of like almost a faded look on that one. Here we go. Going into film grain. So I think the film type that I like the most is positive, just because it is the softer kind of grain. And as we zoom in, we can see how that looks. Maybe decrease it a little bit. And look how nice that is. That looks so good. Honestly, if I didn't know this was taken from a smartphone, I would never guess that it was. And there we go. I think we're going to keep the majority of these settings the same, just because I really like the way that it is already looking. Let's see. Do we want halation? I don't think halation is going to affect this photo too much, just because of the composition. So let's see, what if we bring that all the way down? Impact is all the way down, and then what if we boost it all the way up? We can see, especially along the kind of little tan plant here, we can see that it has now the red kind of hue around it. Same thing here, we can change the hue of the red as well. It's a little bit difficult to see here. Like I said, the halation isn't too pronounced. Then we are also going to do our bloom, and if we pay attention up here, especially around the highlights, we can see exactly, where that is coming in. And then we can also click this mask mode, and it will show us where the bloom is applying. So a little bit difficult to see, but up around the buildings, kind of the edge of the plant there. There we go, and I like the look of the bloom. I just love that softer look. And there we go. So this is our before photo, and this is our after. We can see it is a totally different vibe. Really like it. We ended up going with the blown out sky, as we can see there, because we did boost the exposure up here and then also on the paper. So I think that is the look we're going to go for. We're going to click OK. There we go. Scroll back over. We can see we have our two files again, and then maybe we can do something like this, bring a gradient up, and maybe go to our blacks and drop our blacks a lot. Basically give a lot more contrast to the shadows, something like that. And then maybe we want to go even harder. For example, on the softness up at the top, we can come in and make a couple little masks right there, give a little bit of that dehaze. Kind of like that. Maybe one more up here in this corner. And boom, there you go. So no masks, and then with our masks. And I like the way that photo's looking, maybe a little bit too green for me. So maybe we'll come in and play with that saturation a bit. There we go, I like that a lot better. So here is our original photo and our new edited photo. Look at the grain. I cannot stop going on about the grain. It looks so good. So there we go. That is our third photo, and I think we're going to do one more photo real quick. Let us do this one. So this one is darker, more nighttime. So here we are going to apply our preset, then come in and go to edit in, just as the previous times. There we go. Hit the original right there, and I think we're gonna try and go for a black and white maybe. Or what about this one? Ooh, how do you guys feel about the purple? Very interesting. I don't think we're gonna go with that one, but that is definitely a look. So we'll come back up here to original, and I think I was actually playing with some of these earlier, and I do think that I like this Polaroid Type 100 Sepia. I really like the look that I'm getting from this one. So I think we're gonna choose this one, come over here, and let's see. What happens if we color boost? Okay, so basically it's playing with contrast. Maybe we'll go to film compression. Okay, keep it there. We can play with things like black points, like that, but I think, let's see, do I want to change that? See this before? Yeah, maybe we will. We'll bring that there just a little bit. We're going to play with the paper. Honestly, I think that's pretty good about where it is. And I think with this one, I think we're not going to apply any film grain. Let's see what it looks like with some positive grain. Maybe we'll do like just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's see. That's with it. And that's without. Yeah, we'll do just a little bit. We'll also come into halation and ooh, there we go. That is what I like. The nice soft lights on the buildings. Let's hit our mask mode and we can see exactly where this halation is going on. There we go. I love that. Nice and soft around the windows there. So here is with it and without. There we go. And since it is a monochrome one, it is not going to show through as red. And let's check out our bloom. Bloom is going to do a similar thing. Here is where our bloom is coming through at the moment. Looks great. Of course, there are tons of different settings that you can go through to find exactly the look that you're going for. And then vignette is a typical vignette. Do we want one? Let's see. So a darker vignette, a lighter vignette. I don't think we're going to do a vignette on this one, and I think we're going to keep it just like it is right here. I really like this. So we're going to hit OK up here in the corner. Come back in. Same as always, we have our two files here, and let's see what happens if we play with the saturation here. So we can choose a bit of a golden tone now going with our saturation, or a bit of a kind of silvery if we desaturate it. Same thing with vibrance over here, and I think I'm going to go for a bit of a gold look. So we're going to bring the saturation up a little bit. And do we want to play with the vibrance at all? There we go. I'm kind of liking that. So this is our original photo. And this is now our edit. I am really liking this. Let's see if we want to do any edits here. Would we darken the grass at all? Maybe we'll darken the grass just a little bit. And to be honest, I think we'll just keep it like that. I kind of really like how this looks. Here is our before photo, and here is our after. I love the halation and the bloom in the highlights. It looks so good. Same with our grain here. Just a little subtle hint of grain. So I hope you guys really enjoyed checking out this software with me. Huge shout out and thanks to Dehancer for letting me try their product in the first place. And I do think I am going to be adding it to my personal workflow, as my kind of natural editing style is already film inspired. But yeah, once again, huge thank you to them. And if you guys do happen to be interested as well, you can use my code SHIBI, so SHIBI, and you can get 10% off of any of their PC or Mac based products. They do also have an iOS app, so if you happen to be an iPhone user and you are interested in trying out this kind of editing using their software, you can head over to the Apple Store and you can search up Dehancer, and they do have an iOS app. But my discount code will not apply to the iOS subscription, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's super cool that they have an app as well. That must be pretty powerful, and I'm sad that I will use Android. I absolutely refuse to go back to iPhone, but yes, I'm getting completely distracted. So once again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and do be on the lookout. I am going to also be covering their DaVinci Resolve software, so doing a similar kind of thing, but instead of to photos, to videos. So yes, be on the lookout for that, and some more Xperia 1.5 content coming as well. Thank you guys again, and I hope you have an awesome morning, afternoon, evening, and week wherever you are. Thanks for watching. See you next time.